What's up, guys? It's your boy. I'm Mr. Goat. And, honestly, I've been tinkering with this thing for a few days now. I've been trying to figure out how to explain neutral, like maybe, to a casual audience or to people learning the game. Because when you're in a competitive setting, it's just a unspoken, mutual agreement between everybody. Like, you know what neutral is, but can you really explain it out loud to somebody who doesn't understand what it is? And I was recording, didn't like it, recording, didn't like it. So I'm not gonna make this a long video. I'm just going to just give you insight on what I feel like it personally is. And you guys can take this to multiple games. This isn't just about MKX. I just want you guys to be able to understand kind of like what improving in a game is really. So the first thing I would like to say is when it comes to understanding a fighting game properly, before we even get to neutral, anybody can do combos. When you're in the lab and when you're trying to learn, the most important thing you can do for yourself is trying to learn combos. When you're in practice mode, and you see a combo on YouTube or whatever content you're watching it on, whatever platform, understand that these combos mean something. It's not necessarily about always hitting the optimals, because they're not really practical. So it's about hitting the most practical damage in a situation. I would much rather go for a combo like this. Oh, I'm on Hollywood. Okay. That was on Brawler, my bad. I would much rather go for something like that if it meant that it's going to hit. It's not the flashiest. There are optimals, of course, but it's what works 99% of the time that's going to win you matches. When I used to look at, if any of you know who Theo from Injustice was as a pro player, he was not the flashiest guy, but his fundamentals were so strong. And when you would watch combos, you'd be like, well, what is this? He just wasn't hitting any sort of optimals, any sort of high damage. You were just getting outplayed from start to finish. So what I think neutral is simply just standing here. This is the neutral. When you're both not doing anything, you're standing in neutral. What I feel like separates the super competitive guys from casual players is understanding how to manipulate and control neutral. Us standing right here, what you have to understand is neutral, when it comes to games, is also perspective. Some characters don't play this, no character really plays the same neutral, but some characters just don't have to. They like Quan Chi's not playing neutral, or like Ferritor, like some of these characters are just super brute offensive brawlers. That's just not what they're doing. But being able to understand what you're standing in is important. And the reason why I chose somebody like Cassie is when I think of neutral, I think about a character like Cassie, right? Just because of how she dominates neutral. She has very strong buttons, very fast buttons. We all know about her back one. This is her best mid. It's probably the best mid in the game. 11 frames for those of you that don't understand frame data. If you want, I can put up another video explaining that on another episode or so, if you guys like this one. But what neutral is both of you guys are standing there, and it's a chess match. It's trying to understand how to win in this space. Well, Cassie can do this, but if I'm sub, let me just make this make sense. Oops, let me actually do it like this. If I'm Sub-Zero, right, and Cassie has this strong back one, it's being able to walk back and understand that you're in a range where she's gonna get froggy, and you have to be able to stand back and react in a situation, or win over with your buttons, because a character like Cassie dominates the neutral off the bat. She has far-reaching normals. When we go from back 1 to down 4. The run button extends certain moves, so it's like this instead of this. When you run into it as a running start, you boom, you're hitting from basically half screen. Character like Sub, if we're not talking about Grandmaster, by the way, because Grandmasters is going to win neutral because of Ice Clone. And this is kind of what I'm saying, like a character like Grandmaster is not really playing neutral. Yeah, sure, you can understand neutral as a player, but like I'm sorry, this is the neutral here, and you have to play past this. But forcing people to press when you're walking in their space and being able to really walk in and out of it is kind of what I mean when I say playing neutral. Understanding at certain ranges that things can be done depending on your character. Some characters don't have anything like a Cassie back 1. So what does your character have to really be able to play the range? Maybe your character lacks neutral. So now you have to find other ways to be able to answer for how to outplay your opponent. And neutral breaks down into things like when we talk about whiff punishing, or when we talk about footsies. And I think that whiff punishing is self-explanatory. That what you just saw was like a whiff punishing neutral. He threw out a button and I punished it. It was very simple. So from there it reaches. But if you know that down 4, that down poke right there is a very long range normal. It's a very long range poke, and subs will use that to fill up the space and make you to try to slow you down from just running at him. And also he has Ice Clone, of course, but let's just take that away. Let's just say he has like a Kano down 4. When these things whiff, they have these things called recovery frames, and you as a player, it's up to you to react and to punish and optimize the situation. So just because when we're right here, we need to be able to understand that we need to be able to understand that characters are going to whiff on things, because shit's not supposed to reach wherever you're at. Now there are characters where, you know what I'm saying, but when we're just talking about straight normals, there are long range normals and there are short range normals. And just because everything has recovery doesn't mean that everything's punishable and whiff. That's just the way the fighting games work. It's very sporadic. But when it comes down to it, reacting and punishing in a neutral is the most important thing you can do at the highest level of fighting games. It's understood amongst competitive play, and the way that people play neutral, like when you see somebody like a Daigo in Street Fighter, or even like a Ninja or a Sonic in MK, what they're doing is understanding how to walk in and out of space, how to dominate that space, how to make you respect what they're doing. Even if they're playing a super strong character, like Displacer's not playing neutral, but the way Ninja is standing in the certain space and walking back and forth and making you guess, that is the neutral. When somebody like Dio is playing mournful, and yes, they're gonna throw glaives to, of course, make you respect their space. But when it comes down to it, you're not just gonna run at somebody at a high level and get away with it. They're gonna make you think. They're gonna hurt you as often as possible if you're not careful. So yeah, sure, I can run from back here, but that doesn't work like that. And that was me just trying that, freestyle. It doesn't just work like that. I can't just run in. So it's a thinking man's game at certain points. And like I said, this is any fighting game. So this isn't just pertaining to X. But winning neutral comes down to how your character versus someone else's. And can you think outside the box? Just because this character has an answer for what you would do at a surface level does not mean that's the only answer. And when you're standing from a certain distance, understand that people like to jump, people like to run at you, dash at you, throw normals at you. You need to be able to react and punish. That is it. It's not more complicated than that at the surface level. But when we start talking about characters and players, that's game knowledge. So that's a little different. But whenever someone talks about, oh, this guy has no neutral, it's because they just don't understand how to play in a space where they feel like sometimes you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do anything. Literally, there's nothing more that you can do in a lot of situations than not do anything. Like it's just if you watch like any of my content or any of the tournament footage and you see good gameplay from high level players, sometimes, yeah, sure, it's bullshit. It's game bullshit. It's super, high octane offense, but pay attention to sometimes how you get there, how these things are played, and how these people are reacting. When you throw buttons out, you get hit. That is the neutral. Literally, that is it. But I don't want to make this super long, so that's all I have for you guys. For my TED Talk of the day, I just want to throw something up there, maybe to help you guys understand a little bit. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Feel free to ask me questions. If you can reach out to me, on Twitter, or you got me on Discord, you see me in the Twitch chat, or whatever the case may be, and I'll be happy to help you guys. So yeah, that's all I got. Thank you.